Oh, that's right, when I asked you to call me earlier today. Sorry, Rob. Okay, have a good one, bud. Bye-bye.
Whenever,
Okay.
whenever you need a relief,
Yep.
I'm here.
Good to go? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CFTA! It is Open Mic Live. Today is June 12th for your monthly resident host. He's been on Club 54 and performed all around the U.S. and Canada. Please give a loud round of applause for Larry Smith!
Feel like a fucking giant. Look up, look way up. No, you're all too young to remember that fucking show. Remember Friendly Giant? Fuck yeah, man. That's why I'm a stoner today. You knew the Friendly Giant was fucking stoned, man, because he was always talking like this. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the castle. Come on in. I'm going to play my recorder. I'm going to hang out with a chicken on a bag on the wall there. I'm going to have a giraffe that comes in and talks like fucking Bing Crosby. Remember Jerome the giraffe? He'd come in. Oh, Rusty was the rooster in the bag with the pot. And that's the other reason you knew the giant was a stoner. His only band was Jazz Cats, and they literally had on sunglasses and fucking berets. They were smoking weed. The rooster in the bag, hey, Friendly, he was smoking weed, and so was the fucking giraffe, because he came around, he'd be talking like, how's it going there, Friendly? Yeah, they were all fucking stoned. Anyhow, sorry, that's not the way to start the show, but I got AC/DC, so I can't, again, I get off topic. Fuck off, I know it's not called that, lady, but it's a disorder where your hyper can't remember shit, and they give you 4 fucking letters to remember. If you can't walk, they give you 2. Can't remember shit, they give you 2 more. It's like that fucking asshole invented the word stutter. Yeah, I'm gonna put an ST at the start and 2 in the middle, that'll fuck them up. You ever tried to say lisp without having a lisp? Fucking cruelty. I'm your host, Larry. I've got all kinds of fucking unfunny shit I have to do off the top because I'm the host. And if I don't do this, they won't pay me. That's why you're going, why would you be here on a Thursday night if you've been on TV a bunch of times and been all over Canada and the U.S.? I'll tell you why, you new comics, you people looking for stardom and fame. You might get to be able to do this for 3.5 decades fucking full time. That don't mean anybody's going to know you or you're going to have any fucking money. So you'll be happy to host every fucking Thursday for a month. Let me tell you that much. Fucking thank God for Jenk keeping me off the street with a sign that says, we'll tell jokes for money. All right, so first of all, got to let you know, most of you here tonight are comedians. Who here tonight is not a comedian? By applause. Wicked, so we have 2 people in the audience. Oh, maybe 3. Nope, that was Gabby. Anyhow, Wicked, welcome to the show tonight. I know you're going to have a good time, guys, because it's all fucking for you. It's all for you. I love your tattoos, man. That's fucking tough. I've got a tattoo. It's on the inside of my thigh. It says, if you're reading this, thank you very, very much. So part of an MC's job is, before I do the announcements, I got to find out, is anybody celebrating anything tonight? Birthday, divorce, liposuction? You win on a Nevada ticket? You can't win on Roll Up the Rim to win anymore. You got to have a fucking phone and a code and all that shit. I'm like, fuck you, that's work. Used to be you drank your coffee, but I'm a loser. You know what? It was that quick. I fucking hated Roll Up the Rim when it first came out because that wrecked your morning coffee. Remember your morning coffee, before you have your morning coffee, you're like, right? Then you get your morning coffee and you're like, hey, I'm how good, right? Yeah, well, now the Hortons put the fucking, when Roll Up the Rim, when it first came out, I'd have my morning coffee. Oh, wow, I feel really good now. Then I'd roll up the rim and go, I'm a fucking loser. So anyhow, I have to do the announcements. First announcements. There are food, snacks, and drinks are available. Now, I know there are drinks available, there are snacks available, but apparently they've given Patty the night off. So there are no patties here tonight, but you can have all the other stuff. You can have all the other snacks, and please buy the snacks and stuff like that. You can get them off the man who looks like he's on the zigzag fucking papers. Oh, I'm going to get to the second announcement last because I got a big thing about it. Number 3, if you want to buy a professional 5-camera video, because you don't want 5 videos of the same thing, but you can get a 5-camera video of your set, and it's only $10. Yeah, and it's like a 5-camera shoot of your set, and it's only $10. And you can take it home and put it on Movie Maker and add laughs to it and make your friends think you had a better set than you did. I'm just fucking saying, and it'll look good. It'll look like you're on TV because Dexter's over there with the fucking board. Look at him. He's already going, what the fuck is going on? He's over here like landing the fucking Apollo over here. This is wicked. Okay. The next event at the CFTA, Thursdays are an open mic, in case you didn't know. And there's other stuff coming up. What's coming up, Jake? Tomorrow night's a conspiracy night, or so I've heard. Some people think it's a conspiracy night. I think it's something else. So is that it, basically? Oh, and don't forget, they will be doing fringe shows here, all during the fringe show, fringe festival at the end of July. I will be in one with the great Christian Reimer. Christian and Reimer and I are going to be doing a show called the 3D Monster, called the Giant Space Monster That Ate Hamilton in 3D. We are going to, on this tiny stage, do a 3D human puppet show about a giant monster that attacks Hamilton, and you get 3D glasses. If you pay $2 on the way out, you can fucking keep them. This is Canadian showbiz. Also, you can follow the CFTA on their socials. They have socials. And also, you can check out the website, which is, here's my big radio voice. You ready? You can check out the website at CFTA Live. That's CFTA.live. Oh, I have to, there are time limits on your sets, and there are procedures. They don't have them written here. So you better fucking know them, or you could be getting in trouble without knowing that you're getting in fucking trouble. Here's the deal. Do 5 minutes. There's a clock right here. Right here. Just so everybody knows, there's a fucking clock. When you get on, look at the clock. When the clock's done, you can look. Or you'll see nasty bald Larry standing over here looking at you like, what the fuck? I'll get to the jokes in a minute. Oh, we'd like to fill up the front seats. Done. They also have T-shirts available. So I have one, and I wanted to advertise the shirts. Don't worry, I'm not doing the speed skater, the owl, or the Newfie joke. Tonight I am bringing you to the CFTA a special musical guest using this fantastic T-shirt as a contest. Would you like to see a fantastic musical guest? It means more time between now and seeing Joey Blow. So would you like to see a musical act? I pick on him because I love him. And plus, Charles Nelson Riley must have been a hard dad to grow up with. Okay. Nobody else gets that joke. He's an old guy who used to be on Match Day. But he goes, you know, and he looks just like him. Sorry, I did that off the microphone because I'm a professional. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get ready because I want a big round of applause. Here he is, our musical guest for the evening. Would you please welcome, all the way from the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France, to advertise our shirts, it's Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Big round of applause. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Quasimodo. I'm the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I was going to be singing a song for you this evening, but that's not going to happen. If I did sing my song, it would have to be a cappella. For the people who are streaming, a cappella, it's Italian. It means my fucking guitar player died on Tuesday. Yes, and it's sad because he wasn't just any guitar player. It was my brother, Demi Moto. Shut up, I have a sister named Soda. My brother, Demi Moto, you see, he died in a work accident the other day. You see, he's a bell ringer like me, but he can't ring a bell normally because he was born with a birth defect. You see, all the Moto men are born with birth defects. We get it from my dad's side of the family, Headless Jack Moto. I hate the fucker. For Father's Day, I'm buying him a Duke. But my brother, Demi, well, we're all born with birth defects. You may have noticed I am a slightly lazy eye. My brother, Demi, was born with tiny arms. Not the foam flipper arms. Beautiful arms, actually, kind of long and slender with tiny hands, like a Malibu Barbie. But not good for ringing a bell. So my brother Demi trained himself to ring the bell by backing up 500 feet from it. Then he would run really fast, He would run really fast. And then he would stop and slide into the bell and smash his face with it. And it would chime. Oh my God, it would chime. It was beautiful. It was like 1,000 angels taking a piss on a tin roof in a rainstorm. But then last Tuesday he had a work accident. He backed up and was running at the bell. And then he slipped on a banana peel. It was actually a bag of chips, but you can't say that in comedy. It's a union thing. You have to say banana peel. So he slipped on the banana peel and went right out the window. He plummeted 500, a long way, and went and with road pizza. He looked like a jar of Smucker's jam that had broken on aisle number 5 in a Sobeys. No one could recognize him. For hours, the police were asking, does anyone recognize this man? Till finally, a little girl came up to the policeman and said, excuse me, officer. I don't know that man's name, but his face sure rings a bell. Fuck you. For the streaming people, I may not be your favorite guy tonight, but I'm the one you'll see the most. Just so you fucking know. Is everybody having a good time right now? Are you having an okay time? Right on. I'll be back to bother you. Now, we got a lot of very talented, really good comics tonight, and we have this first guy. I'm just fucking with him because I like him. He's great. He does great every week. He's a staple here. It wouldn't be the fucking CFDA comedy night, and you people at home know, both of you, you know. He Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, your buddy and mine, Joey Baum.
Keep it going for Larry. Come on. I can't believe somebody has to follow that. Jesus Christ, that guy makes me laugh. Hey, thank you. Good night, CFT. That's the only applause I'm going to get. I'm going to do something a little different tonight. I'm going to try to tell you people the greatest story I've ever heard. This happened quite a long time ago. I was 32 years old at the time. That's very important. Eamon, how old was I? Good answer. Good answer. Good man, that Eamon. Horrible father, but a good man. No, he's a good father. I'm just kidding. He did fuck an elephant, though. But that's not the greatest story I've ever heard. Here it is, the greatest story I have ever heard. Like most great stories, this one begins in a small Texas town. Doom, doo, 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 doo. I don't know why I did that. Small Texas town. A 16-year-old boy kills another 16-year-old boy, allegedly over a 16-year-old girl. So sad. And it is a story as old as time. Now, before I continue the story, maybe this makes me a bit of a prevert, but anytime I see a story about an underage girl, they never publish her photo. And I want to see the photo because I want to know if it was worth it, right? Well, like, you got a teacher. He boinks his student. You know, his wife's going to divorce him and take everything. He's never going to be able to teach again, and he's probably going to go to jail. Was it worth it? You know, like, okay, like, look, if it was a young Britney Spears, it's still wrong, but at least that makes a little sense. And there's a second element to this. How do I say this without sounding like a creep? Girls have some girls have a certain set of skills. You know what I mean? Regardless of age, and they never put that kind of shit in the paper. You know, like, was she on the gymnastics squad? You know, did she ride horses? Does she have a gag reflex? These are all things for one to determine whether or not it was worth it. But back to the story. In this case, they actually did publish the picture of all three of them. And, you know, the thought was small town paper. The girl obviously is not a victim or a criminal. The victim is dead. And the other guy, he's going to jail for 25 years. And before you give me your liberal hippie nonsense about, oh, he's a boy, he shouldn't be destroyed. This is Texas, motherfucker. If the kid was black, they would have executed him. All right? 25 years is pretty good for a nice white boy. So, the day they published the picture of these three, the cops get a very unusual call from 2 towns over. Hi, I just graduated high school, and that girl in the paper 2 years ago, she was my 16-year-old girlfriend. It's bizarre, right? But the cops don't investigate because there's no crime, right? So that goes off. The next day, they get another unusual call from the University of Texas. Go Longhorns. The man says, yeah, 5 years ago, that girl in the paper, she was my 16-year-old girlfriend. I'm like, well, now there might be a crime. Like, if this girl is 21 and was messing with these guys, we're going to investigate this crime. So they do some investigation. Day 3, the police get the most unusual call they've ever gotten. Hi, I love my wife, and I live for my kids. But 25 years ago, that girl in the paper, she was my 16-year-old girlfriend. Now they go, holy shit, this is crazy. And it turns out that she committed a sex crime because she was 21 years old when she fucked that married man 25 years ago. 21 years old. She had been posing as a 16-year-old girl for over 3 decades. Isn't that amazing? Now, this solves 2 problems for me. Because number 1, I am not a pervert. I am not a pervert. She's 15 years older than me. I am not a pervert. Even if I jacked off to her 5 times a day, which I did, I am not a pervert. Woo. And of course, the second element, some girls have a certain set of skills. I mean, she's a professional 16-year-old girl with 31 years of experience. She is the world-leading expert on fucking 16-year-old boys. That guy did not have a chance. Isn't that amazing? Now, I have heard this story before, a couple times. It's not as rare a phenomenon as you would think. But 31 years, that's like in 1941, Joe DiMaggio hit for a record 56 games in a row in what they say is a record that will never be beaten. 31 years posing as a 16-year-old girl. This is the Joe DiMaggio of child fucking. And that, CFTA, is the greatest story I have ever heard. Thank you very much.
Joey Blow, lady, don't touch me. Not after all those things you said. Don't ever fucking touch me. Fuck, you upset me with your set. Your set upset me. You came up and you said, I'm going to tell the greatest story ever told. And I know that that's about Jesus. I've seen the movie. The greatest story ever told with Max von Sydow is Jesus. And then you come up and talk about fucking 16-year-old girls that aren't 16 in Texas and you whacking off 5 times a day and shit. Yeah, don't do that. I'm a big fan of Jesus. Jesus isn't one of my favorite jokes. I'm going to tell a quick Jesus joke and then I'm going to bring on your next act. So Jesus and Moses go golfing. Figure a nice Jesus story will get perverts material out of our heads. What the fuck? Jesus and Moses go golfing because it's Wednesday. And they go golfing and they get to this course that Jack Nicklaus designed. And when they get to the 3rd hole, Moses says to Jesus, okay, look, Jack Nicklaus designed this golf course. The only way you're going to get to that hole over there is there's a big pond. So you got to hit it to the edge of the pond, then hit it over the pond. The best you could do is a par 2. The only person who's ever got a hole-in-one on this hole, Jesus, is Jack Nicklaus. So Moses goes, tees off, whap, hits his ball right to the edge of the little lake. Jesus goes, play through. So Moses goes over, chips it, over the lake, in the hole, gets it on a par 2. He looks back. Jesus is up at the tee, and Jesus is doing this. Jack Nicklaus can get a hole in one on this. I can get a hole in one on this. I'm Jesus. I'm the Lord of light. I'm the Son of God. I can get a hole in one, and Jack Nicholas can get a hole in one. Whacks his ball right in the middle of the lake. Moses goes, oh, for fuck's sakes. Pulls his staff out of his golf bag and goes like this. And the little pond in the golf course opens up. Moses walks out into the mud, picks up Jesus' ball, cleans it up, hands it back to him, and goes, look, I'm going to give you a mulligan. Do it over. Do it in two. Only Jack Nicholas can do it in one. Do it in two. So he stands back, Jesus is teeing up, Jesus goes, I walk on fucking water and raise people from the dead and shit. I came back from the fucking dead, for Pete's sakes. I can get a hole in one. Whaps the ball. Plunk, right in the middle of the pond. Moses goes, fuck this. Starts walking back to the clubhouse. Jesus goes down to the pond. And he's walking around on the top of the pond looking for his ball, right? Two guys are coming down from the clubhouse. Moses is storming up to the clubhouse. The two guys coming down from the clubhouse, one says to the other, hey, look at that guy walking on the water. He must think he's Jesus Christ. And Moses goes, nah, he thinks he's fucking Jack Nicholas. I'm going to bring up your second act. I know you're going to enjoy him greatly. Ladies and gentlemen, a man with an amazing name, please welcome Greg Stanhope.
What's up, guys? I got to warn you off the top here, this might be a bit of a rough set. On the drive up, I had to stop at a Tim Hortons and use the washroom, and I found a Percocet behind the toilet. Not so sure it was a Percocet after all, so we'll see how this goes. But I have to thank you all for coming out tonight to support my midlife crisis. This is what it looks like when you're too broke to buy a Corvette and way too lazy to get into shape. So now I do this shit and hang out with a bunch of autistic 30-year-olds. But I'm pretty old to be starting stand-up comedy. Actually, my nephew, this last Christmas, really made me feel old. He said, actually, to be honest with you, it was kind of cute. He looked at me and he said, Uncle Quag, I think you're turning into Santa Claus. At first, I was like, well, that's a fucked up thing for a 23-year-old to say. But then I realized all the mushrooms I sold him must be kicking in, because I know mine are. But I could kind of see it, you know, I got the beard, I got that classic Santa Claus silhouette going on. I feel I look more like Santa in the third act of his origin story, though. You know, a little rough around the edges. You know, he's not sure he made the right career choice. He's got no Christmas spirit. Just goes out to the bar every night getting drunk and comes back to the North Pole and beats the shit out of his elves. I do think once his beard does go white, though, I'm actually going to, you know, really embrace the look, really lean into it. You know, then I'll be ready for new career choice. OnlyFans. There's got to be some people out there that caught their mom blowing a mall Santa. Now they can't come unless they hear ho, ho, ho. Those will be my people. How about you? You ever catch your mom getting some of Santa's eggnog straight from the candy cane? No? You just missed out on a promo code. Anyways, how do you guys feel about cultural appropriation? Woo? That's a weird reaction for that question. I used to think it was bullshit, but then it's one of those things, once you see it, you're kind of like, okay, now I get it. Like last summer, I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, and he offered me a hit off his vape pen. And I was like, well, what's in this? He tells me it's DMT. I'm like, isn't that the shit like tribes in South America smoke to go to the fucking spirit realm and shit? And he says, yeah. Jesus Christ. We're Ribfest, Kyle. What kind of fucking spiritual enlightenment are you looking for right now? He did figure out his spirit animal is a rainbow trout, which pissed me off because I had to keep pulling him out of the fucking river. Got sick of that shit pretty quick, so I took him to the taxidermy shop and got him mounted. Now I got a stuffed Kyle on my wall, bursting out of the water, going after a vape pen. Don't feel bad for Kyle. He's a fucking culture thief. What else? Oh, this happened to me a couple weeks ago. I got kicked out of our local safe injection site. This happened to anyone else? No? You guys are lame. I was pissed off, you know. I'm a taxpayer. I deserve a safe, clean environment to try heroin for my first time. You know, like growing up, all I ever heard was drug dealers will give you your first one free. Not at this place. They're like, we don't do that here. It's all right, though. It worked out in the end. You know, I left there, went around the corner, and there was a syringe just sitting there. It's half full, too. I knew it was going to be good stuff because the guy didn't even wake up when I took it out of his arm. That's because he was dead. I didn't kill him. Fucking cold, heartless society did that. I got one more for you before I get out of here. It's more of a, you know, helpful hint. You know, you're always going to run into, you know, a neighbor you don't get along with, you know. You're always doing little things to fuck each other over. Like he shovels snow from his driveway and throws it onto yours, or, you know, you throw Molotov cocktails over the fence at his family barbecue. You know, those little things. Well, if you really want to get them, if you really want to fuck them over, this is what you do. Register yourself as a sex offender. You'll never be able to sell his house. His property value will plummet. Yeah, it's a bit of a long game, but they do say revenge is a dish best served cold. And in the meantime, save a fortune at Halloween.
Give it up for Craig Stanhope. I enjoyed your set so much. Except he comes up and upsets me about Jesus, and then you come up and rag on Santa. What the fuck do you guys have against Christmas? You wrecked Santa for me. Well, you didn't wreck Santa for me. My fucking old man and my Uncle Dave wrecked Santa for me. Well, you remember that night you found out your dad was fucking Santa? Santa was bullshit. It was your parents. Most people, they find out from another kid or their parents tell them. No, I figured out Santa was my dad. Because one night when I was about 9, I stayed up to listen to Santa drinking the cookies and eating the cookies and drinking the milk and reading my letter and getting the carrots for the reindeer and shit. And I knew Santa was my dad because I knew Santa wouldn't be down in the living room going, I can't put this fucking bike together! All the fucking instructors are in Japanese, for fuck's sakes! Oh, the little fucker falls off and kills himself. All right, Joyce, I'm kidding. I love the kid, and plus, I need that baby bonus for cigarettes. Yeah, and I knew my dad wasn't Santa anyhow. I knew the mall Santa wasn't the real Santa, because the real Santa came to our house every Christmas Eve, and he sounded a lot like my Uncle Dave Burley, and he smelled like whiskey and Players Light cigarettes. And the Santa that visited our house would always pass out on the fucking lawn when he left the house. And then my dad and my Uncle Bill would have to, like, pour Santa into a cab. And my dad told me that, well, Santa needs a nap. It's a big fucking night ahead. Fuck off. I tried to share a Christmas memory with you people. They get fucking nothing. That eggnog thing upset me too, the candy eggnog. I'm a visual person. That's one of my favorite things at Christmas, eggnog. A lot of you don't know this, eggnog is chicken milk. It fucking is! You look at the carton, it says right on there on the French one, lait à poulet. That means chicken milk. And plus, why do you think in the song 12 Days of Christmas, it's 2 French hens? And they're French hens. They're not Scottish hens. They're not Swedish hens. They're French hens. Do you know why? Because only French hens give eggnog. In Paris, France, all the time around Christmas, all over France, you can hear people go, Tabernacle, get up, it's time to milk the chickens for Christmas. So since I'm killing so much, we're going to bring up the next comic. Now, this next comic, ladies and gentlemen, is a man. He's a comedian. I've seen him many times. I can't talk about him much because I'm really jealous of his fucking hair. Please welcome Paul Morquan, the Mannequin.
Get up for Larry.
Yeah, fucking you. Sit down. Sit the fuck down. You're not supposed to be up. Don't come on stage when you're not supposed to be up. Jesus Christ, that's one of the things I read off the announcement. You gotta follow the rules. Just because they say you're up doesn't mean you're up. We go by the list. Motherfucker. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm never wrong. I just haven't finished speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, our next comic is a very funny guy. He's all the way from Port Dover. I've seen him a few times at the Judge. He was very funny. I saw him last week here. He was very funny. Apparently he killed an Emerson on Tuesday, according to my friend Greg Drabowski. But what the fuck does Greg know? Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're really going to enjoy him. Please welcome all the way from Port Dover, Ontario, my buddy, Aiden Lynch.
I've noticed this place doesn't have a ramp, so I think it's only right if we call it the Center for Walking Arts. Could you imagine some tortured soul rolls up in a wheelchair and just sees the stairs and just starts shaking her fist or whatever? What would you guys even do? That's the funnier answer. Shit. I took a bunch of my old man's Viagra. I'm just gonna put that there. Take one. All right. Am I allowed to swear here? Yeah. I can drop an F-bomb? Yeah. Fuck. My grandma made that. Yeah, she's a crafty bitch. I had a pretty good one-liner I wanted to open up with, but I snorted it before I got here, so fuck. Yeah, I've been doing a lot more coke ever since I quit drinking. I don't drink whiskey anymore. Now, like, my version of whiskey dick is just using a bottle of JD for lube. Yeah, it stinks. Fellas, have you ever noticed, like, when you're fingering a girl that, like, all the genital warts makes it a lot harder to find the clit? No? It's alright. I do these things so you guys don't have to. Fuck. Oh, yeah. I had to put one of those fuck cancer stickers on my car. I didn't want to name my dog Cancer, but it felt right. Shit. I'm just fucking around. I've been known to fuck around lady from time to time. I came across a couple homeless people over at Gage Park there, and now they don't want me there. Fuck. Yeah, the worst part about having a tiny dick is you can take as much Viagra as you want and nobody will fucking notice. Fuck. We're gonna take one more here. Oh yeah. So there's this prostitute I see from time to time. Yeah, maybe like once a month-ish, and like I guess you could call me a regular customer. Her name's Crystal, and So the last time I was seeing Crystal was a couple weeks ago. And it was really awkward. As I was walking up to her apartment building, I get to her floor, and I notice that her last customer is coming out as I'm getting ready to go in. And it was really fucking weird because I knew the guy. And I'm trying to be all nonchalant, you know, look at the floor as I'm walking down. And he's like, "Aiden, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, you knew that." Fuck, I was so grossed out. I usually see Crystal for about an hour, but like I had to tell her, like I was just so struck, so grossed out that I could only do a half hour. So, shit. Oh, what else? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My friend bought a vacuum store. That fucking sucks. That was terrible. I should take 2 now. Oh, yeah. This girl I've been seeing lately, she's a bit of a freak in the sheets. She just recently asked if she could call me Daddy. I said, "Nah, baby, that's not freaky enough. I want you to call me Diddy." I gotta take the rest of them now. Oh, yeah. My girlfriend asked if I could start treating her how I treat my vape, because I always have it close to me. I'm always holding on to it. I sleep with it right beside me, and I'm doing mouth stuff to it all the time. I said, "That's fine. I can definitely do that, but I get a new vape every week, so what's your sister doing?" All right, one more. All right, I gotta use the bathroom now, so here you go, Larry.
Let's give it up for Paul Marquand. Paul Marquand. Oh, that was Aiden Lynch. Great job, Aiden. Shouldn't be taking all that Viagra. When my dad was alive, but yeah, Father's Day is coming up. And I really miss my dad, except for the fact I don't got to spend money this weekend now. Yep, 3 years now. I get to save money one Sunday out of the year. My dad was old when he died. He was taking Viagra because he was old, but he wasn't finished, And he was taking Viagra. I caught him at his apartment, and he had the Viagra on the back of the toilet like a fucking drug addict, and he had it on a little tray, and he was cutting it into quarters. I said, "Dad, are you taking only quarters of the Viagra pill?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, that's not going to do anything." And he goes, "Oh, Larry, I don't want it the whole way up. I just want to stop pissing on my feet in the middle of the night." Now, you may have thought I fucked up last time and brought up Paul early. It's just Paul has a habit of taking forever to get to the stage, so I wanted to give him practice. Now, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, the new lady, how are you guys? Welcome to the show. I don't mean to make you feel insecure, but now that you're here, we've doubled the fucking audience compared to comics. God bless you. I won't hug you, because I know that lady's a movie star. She's got on her fucking sunglasses, and her entourage brought her here on a skateboard. That's fucking cool.
Makes you feel any better? She holds my hand so I don't have to push.
Isn't that nice?
She makes me.
She makes you push? Quit being so needy! People don't like needy people. If you keep being needy, she'll take back the key to her roller skates.
How did you know I have them?
I am psychic. I predict Paul Marquand is coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Marquand.
Really? Marroquin, thank you. Hey everyone. So I think Scotiabank's slogan, "You're richer than you think," is gaslighting. I'm well aware of how rich I am. Not very. My parents, they bank with Scotiabank. They told them they could afford a house, and when they gave them their financial plan, it was a folder, and when they opened it up, it was a picture of me. So, yep. But they photoshopped me to have money, like literally holding a bag of money. That's how I actually bank. So yeah, I take care of my parents. I'm at that age where I have to help them out with stuff. I bought them their new AC, a new furnace. I replaced all the shingles, which was great because now when we get into arguments, I say, hey, I literally put a roof over your head. I'm not a fan of the role reversal though, because I'll come home from work tired and I see no one's done the dishes, and then I'll go to my dad's room and I see him playing Call of Duty. Like literally he's playing Modern Warfare 2, like the same I would. And now I'm like, fuck, I hate this. But I'm gonna listen in on you watching porn, and I'll kick down your door when you're about to finish. And then we'll come full circle. Play on words. So I go to Fit for Less, and I hate it. I hate it. The one in my town is always busy. Doesn't matter if I go in the morning, lunch, evening. I went at 1 a.m. in the morning, and it was still packed. And the worst part about it is everyone there looked good. And I'm telling them, you're promoted. You don't have to be here anymore. You look good. Go to Good Life. And they're looking at me thinking, why isn't this guy at the Y? Otherwise known as Fit for Way Less. And there's other people looking at me thinking, like, why isn't he at Red Lobster? So a while back, I actually performed at Levity Comedy Club. I did a set there, and I did, and after the show, I went to my car, just put my crap in my trunk, and I slammed it because I wasn't in a good mood. And then I opened up my front door, and all I hear is, "Oh man, is it time to wake up now?" And I look in it, and there's a homeless guy sleeping in my passenger seat. So the first thing I do is look in the back seat, and I see no one. I'm like, good, because no one's having sex in my car if I'm not. And I look at the rest of my car, and there's trash and half-eaten food, and I'm like, good, he didn't touch anything. And then I'm like, yeah, man, it's time to get up. I got to go home somewhere. And he's like, all right. And then he starts looking through every crevice of my car, like looking at all this stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm looking for change. I'm like, okay. So he's actively robbing me and making small talk. And he's like, oh, man, like, this is a really nice car. You must have a day job you really like. I'm like, no. It must pay well. I'm like, no. Well, at least you have a girlfriend. I'm like, no. Even I have a girlfriend. Like, get the fuck out of my car. Before he does, he pulls out this bag. And this is a beautiful bag, like a nice like leather bag. And I'm like, there's no way that's his. I'm like, hey, man, that's my bag. He says, no, man, it's mine. It's full of butane. I'm like, oh, well, that's my butane then. I don't know what butane is. I'm still looking into it. So he finally gets out of my car, and he drops his bag. I'm like, fuck. So I help him pick up his stuff, like his butane, his cigarettes, and his membership to Good Life. And I get a good look at this guy in the light, and he looks really good. Like, he has really nice short hair, well kept. He looks like he's dressed for like an interview. And that's when I realized, like, if I had called the cops, they would have came and yelled at me for sleeping in his car. So I'm like, all right, fine. Like, I felt bad. Like, I went back to feeling bad for him because he was like, oh, where do I go? I'm like, that broke my heart. So I put out a 10 for him. And he's like, no, man, you needed more. So he walked away. Now I'm thinking in my head, he's probably talking to his friends, like saying, you know what? I was sleeping in a car that I don't own, as one does. And I met this guy, and you know what? His life sucked. Had a shitty job, doesn't have a girlfriend, and to be honest, his car sucked. Meeting him, you know, I don't have a lot, but meeting him made me appreciate what I do have. I guess it's true what they say. You're richer than you think. Thank you. Just a quick one, because I want to test it out and see how it works. I have a mental illness called being single. The symptoms are depression. Yeah, that's it. You want to see the guy that was in my car? He's right here. Hey, Larry, come on up here.
fuck off. I would not sleep in your car. I'd come out of there smelling like McDonald's and Taco Bell garbage. You fucking asshole, because I was going to come up and go, hey, Paul, fuck you. I needed a place to sleep, you bastard. I was going to go a whole bunch of jokes about that, and then as I'm standing there, he fucking undercuts me, fucking bastard. Now I don't know what to do. I want to do a quick joke to bring Gabby on to a big fucking laugh. All right. Here's one. There's a bear and a rabbit in the woods, and the bear says to the rabbit, hey, rabbit, when you take a shit, does the shit stick to your fur? And the rabbit says no, and the bear goes, great. Fuck you. I got chased by a bear once. My buddy and I were camping, and the big bear, I started coming into the campsite, so I grabbed my knapsack. I started putting on my running shoes. And he said, what are you doing, Larry? You can't outrun a bear. And I said, fuck that, Walt. I only have to outrun you. Okay, that one didn't work. Here we go. I'm bringing Gabby on to a big fucking laugh. Woman buys a parrot. Woman buys a parrot. She gets it home. Says to the parrot, pretty bird. The parrot goes, fuck you, bitch. She goes, hey, you swear again, I'm going to put you in the fridge. He goes, well, fuck you, you cunt. She grabs him, puts him in the fridge. 20 minutes later, she comes, takes him out of the fridge, puts him on the perch, goes, I hope you learned your lesson. Go fuck yourself. She goes, well, that's it. I'm going to put you in the fridge again. She puts him in there this time for 40 minutes, takes him out. She goes, did you learn your lesson? He goes, what the fuck was wrong with you, you stupid fucking whore? She goes, that's it, I've had it with you. I'm going to stick you in the freezer. So she sticks the parrot in the freezer. Parrot's in the freezer for about a half hour. Finally, the parrot looks over and sees the frozen chicken. And the parrot looks at the frozen chicken and goes, what'd you do, try to fuck her? Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to enjoy the next comic. She's very, very funny. She's a regular here. She's a regular a lot of places because, like I say, she's very, very funny. Please welcome, and I'm sure she won't wreck my opening line when I come back up here like that fucking Paul with all that beautiful hair and fucking undercuts me, fucking dickhead. But the next comic I really like. She's really nice, unlike Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gabby Watts.
Hi, guys. Hey. Oh, thank you. Hi. Yes, I am wearing a sundress today because it is finally arson season. It's my favorite. And I am married to a dude, even though I'm bisexual. My biggest fear as a wife is to be like a nag wife. You know, like the whole like Marge Simpson kind of thing, like. So I don't nag him. But the other day we were having sex, and my husband came on my stomach, and I was so excited by this that I said, "You did it, homie." And then I immediately said to him, "Not Simpson though. Like, I don't mean that you're Homer Simpson. I'm not Marge Simpson trying to." So we decided that I don't talk during or after sex anymore, because it's no good. I do think that jizz is hot, but only while it's hot. You know, like when it first hits, it's incredible, but it's kind of like a McDonald's fry, like it's so magnificent when it's fresh, and then it just becomes like a hard, congealed, separating, gets stuck in your throat. The other day I was at the dollar store trying to buy hand soap, and there's always like the clear and the white soap, or as I like to think of them, regular and jizz. But I'm never sure which one is the jizz. So I decided to take them both home, and I figured that like one of them, when you put it on your skin, it would feel nice and clean. And I figured the other one would feel, amazing. And like that's how you know. I was thinking the other day that everybody loves boobs. You know, we love to see them, whether you're a man, woman, child, any age. And I think it's because, you know, in the old times when we were all cave people, I think every once in a while we're walking around looking for food and we're all starving, you know. We can't hunt anything, we can't gather anything. But we know that boobs can have food in them, so I feel like they're like the ultimate human hope, you know. And I feel like when the tribe was starving, I bet you that the lactating woman fed everybody. Like, you know, she probably had to. But then I was thinking, like, you know, men sort of also produce food, right? Like, you know, like jizz scientists have studied that there's calories and protein in there. So then I'm assuming, okay, the lactating woman, she drinks the jizz, and she can make the milk for the baby. And I was thinking this is like the jizz circle of life, you know, that she really needs to be there just to, like, keep the husband from feeding the baby. Like, she's the missing piece. So that's why we all love boobs. Girls on the internet were asking their boyfriends if they would still love them if they were a worm. And I was talking to my husband, and I said, listen, if I just turn into a worm, like my body and my mind are that of a worm, you just put me in the garden, don't worry about it. But if I just physically turn into a worm and my mind is still my own, then I'm like stuck in like a Kafkian nightmare where I don't know what to do. So you should probably kill me. But then I thought, like, my husband loves me so much, he would probably actually love me as a worm. And I feel that, you know, eventually things would get a little freaky and he would come on me and I would invariably drink the jizz, I feel, you know, as a worm. I feel like that's what you would do. And eventually I would start growing and growing because my diet is just protein. And my sensual worm body would soon fill the bedroom. And my husband would become addicted to the worm sex, you know, something about the segments, it's so tight. We don't know which one is the mouth or the butt, so he just fucks both ends all the time. I soon become pregnant with worm-human hybrid babies. They have the head of a human but the body of a worm, so they look like a sperm, which is what I'm filled with at all times, so it's suitable. I'm a worm, so I don't lactate, so the babies soon die because we refuse to feed them jizz. Sometimes I can hear my human children quietly weeping in another room. By the time the Children's Day takes them away, I'm happy for them. You know, this is no life. So what I'm trying to say is if your girlfriend becomes a worm, like, definitely kill her no matter what. That's gotta be. I had a dream the other day that I was hanging out with my younger siblings, and they were kind of snobs about the fact that they both were into bukkake. They were like, you don't do bukkake? I was like as a hobby? Like, what are we talking about? But it got me to thinking about how many loads does it make? Like, how many loads does it take before it's called bukkake? Like if you take 2 loads to the face, that's just like a threesome? Or if you take like 4 loads to the face, you're just like a really good friend? So is there, like, you know, like in kosher food, like a rabbi has to come and certify things? We're done in like a certain way. So I wonder if there's like a bukkake, like, authority who checks it out, like, oh, okay, 15, this is good. Okay. Yeah, so now you can see why I wore my pearl necklace today. Okay, those are all my jokes. Thank you, guys.
Gabby Watts, ladies and gentlemen. Gabby Watts. And I thought Joey Blum made me uncomfortable. All that talk about semen. My goodness. No, I'm just not used to a girl talking about semen, let alone being okay around it or anything. No, a lot of ex-girlfriends I've had, They get freaked out. Like if they're giving you oral sex, they'll pull that last minute contract negotiation and go, okay, I'll go down there and do that, but you better tell me before it's gonna happen. I'm like, before what's gonna happen? And they look at me like I'm stupid and go, you know. Because some girls sperm freaks them out. They even get a little bit on them. It's like kryptonite. They're like, get it up! It's burning! Oh, I can't go on! You don't need to relax like Gabby and get over it. I told ex-girlfriends, you need to get over the worrying about the semen because all it is baby batter. It makes babies. It's baby batter. It makes babies. Like cake batter makes cake. And when you make a cake, what's the best part? Licking the bowl. So I'm just saying. Plus, when was the last time a girl gave a guy a warning? When was the last time I've ever been given oral sex and the chicks had the courtesy to yell out, back up, liver boy, the dam's gonna burst! No, but I'm supposed to give her a fucking warning. She's blowing me. My brain's doing this. And in the middle of it, I'm supposed to go, oh, I say, I believe I'm rather close to climaxing. You may want to remove your head from my area. Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, now that the semen part of the evening is over, we're going to move to our next comic. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome our next comic of the evening? I can see him standing up now. Please welcome Tay Powell.
Larry was saying some women treat jizz like it's kryptonite, but we don't know that's not one of Superman's weaknesses. Or did I miss the comic where Lex Luthor jizzed on him? I don't know. My friend said we should have another eclipse soon, but I was like, it's not really up to us. I have a riddle for you. What do you call a gay motherfucker? It's just a lesbian, guys. Come on. Do you think the tornado in The Wizard of Oz abducted other children, too? I've been inviting a lot of pregnant women over recently. I figured if a death in the house decreases the value, then a birth in the house has got to bring the value up. Now, I don't know, this is gonna, I'm not a proponent of rape, we shouldn't do it. But wouldn't it solve the incel problem? If they were raped, not, I'm glad that when I'm coming, it doesn't smell like cumin. It's a word joke. All right, I want to try something here. You guys know Mad Libs? Yeah. I've been working on my own. It's similar. I feel like I should maybe tell you more about it after we do it. So, I need a volunteer. Can you answer some questions for me? Maybe. All right. I'll just do this. All right, let's say you're writing a letter. We need a name, like a friend or family member. Pete. And give me an adjective. Going? That's a verb. Oh, an adjective. Like a description word, like a color, a size, something like that. Brown. All right. Give me a noun. That's a person, place, or thing. All right. Give me a verb. This is the action word you were wanting. Jumping. Now a body part. All right. Give me a place. Another adjective. That's another description. Dirty. And another noun, that's another person, place, or thing. All right. And what's your name? So I've been thinking, when people are feeling suicidal, it must be hard to come up with that suicide note, right? So I've invented suicide Mad Libs. I really hope you're not depressed or I'm gonna feel really bad. We'll read the letter though. Dear Pete, I can no longer deal with the brown train station. I also wish you hadn't jumped on my foot when we were in Hamilton. This is all your fault. I hope you choke on a dirty fountain. Sincerely, Kevin. I'll give it to you after, just in case. Now, when you guys are watching movies, do you ever talk about the movie characters by using the name of the movie? Like when I was a kid, I was watching Home Alone, and I would be like, like Home Alone got left home alone, and while he was home alone had to set traps in his home alone for Marv and Harry. I do it with Die Hard too, like Die Hard, and he lost his shoes and cut up his feet. Superman, doesn't really work, I guess. One thing I've been thinking about Superman a lot, I guess. He eventually he's gonna need glasses. I think he's getting older, and his identity's fucked. Like if you see Superman wearing glasses, I think they might figure it out. If you could have a superpower, what would you have? Flight? I don't have anything for that. I was just curious. I got nothing. I kind of thought you were gonna say invisibility. I mean, it's just the more perverted one, you know? All right. So I got one more thing or how much time do I have? I've been looking at the clock. All right. We'll try one last thing. In 1997 they did a study. It's to make any two people fall in love. It's 36 questions. I can see Larry standing there, so we'll just skip ahead to.
No, man, go ahead.
I don't really have 36 questions here. I thought we'd skip ahead to number 24. All right, we'll go with you in the front here. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? So actually, you'll answer the question, then I'll do the same question, and by the end of this, we'll be in love. So, how do you feel about the relationship with your mother? I feel pretty good about my relationship with your mother too. So we got that in common. Okay. Now you are supposed to tell your partner something that you already like about them. Damn, we're not doing well. I like your notebook. All right. Now, your house containing everything you own catches fire. After you've saved your loved ones, your pets, you have time to safely make a final dash and save one more thing. What would it be and why? All right. I was going to say I'm going to run in and save my not loved ones, but all right, we'll leave it there. Thanks, guys.
Jay Powell, ladies and gentlemen. So far tonight, we've heard about underage girls who aren't underage girls. We've heard about semen. We've heard about all kinds of scary shit. Jesus, and then now we had suicide. I'm not into suicide stuff, you know. I used to be into suicide. I used to smoke cigarettes because I was suicidal, but I was lazy. Well, it's hard to commit suicide the other way, so I went to slit my wrist. But if you're going to slit your wrist, you got to run a warm tub. No, you do. That's what the ancient Romans did. The Marquis de Sade did that. Yeah, I read fucking books. So anyhow, that's what they did. When they slit their wrist, you got to run a fucking warm tub. Well, I'm a chronic pot smoker. So while I'm running a hot tub, I rolled and smoked a fucking joint. Then once the tub was run, I didn't slit my wrists. I lit some candles and incense, put on Dark Side of the Moon, and had a great fucking evening. Plus, you can't hang yourself. I was going to hang myself, but that's a lot of work. First of all, I didn't have an apartment with an exposed beam, so it took me 6 months to move to an apartment that had an exposed beam. Well, no, because you need something to throw the rope over. I tried using a ceiling fan, but that doesn't work. It's just 3 days later, you're all dizzy while the EMTs are cutting you down. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've talked about suicide, jizz, and all kinds of wonderful things, I'm very happy to bring you President Ayman Nassar. Ladies and gentlemen, President Ayman Nassar.
Thank you, Larry. Best dressed person in the crowd tonight. Round of applause for Larry. Joey, I need to correct something that you said. I did not fuck an elephant. I was molested by one. Completely different stories. How's everyone doing tonight? Anyone have any travel plans? I don't really care about your travel plans. I'm here to tell you about mine. So tomorrow, I'm going to the US. Now, I know what you're going to say. There's a bit of a continuity issue here because I've been telling you about how much I hate the US and how much I'm pro-Canada. What I am going to do is when I go to the airport, I will try to give them the stink eye, like show them that we're not going to be the 51st state. At least that's what I like to tell Canadians. Most probably what I'm going to do when I get to the airport is just be as polite as I can be because you need to keep in mind I am Egyptian. And that means I'm automatically always selected for the extra pat down. So I have to be extra nice with the person at the airplane. And I have to be like, okay, sir, so cavity search. How many fingers? Fists? Okay. I will try not to clench. Yeah, I can't pull that stuff that you guys do where you act all belligerent to Americans because you hate them. I have to play it nice. Until the end of this year. Now, the reason I'm going to the US is because Saturday, I'm going to be attending a football game. It's the opening match of the FIFA Club World Cup. Now, what you're going to think is that I'm going to be here to shit on Canada and say how you guys call soccer, how you call football soccer, and make fun of that. But no, I'm not here to talk about that. What I am here to say is that Canada has it really easy. Because I tried to workshop this joke before I wrote it, and it couldn't find a single sport that you guys love that would give you as much confusion as I get when I'm reading the news. So to put it into perspective, I believe the Stanley Cup finals are happening right now. Correct? Yes. Okay, so imagine you were to open the news and find out that the Oilers won the Stanley Cup. How happy would you be? Because that's not expected to happen, right? I'm sorry, it's the truth, okay? Bear with me here. Now, what happens when I read the news and I read stuff about football that makes as much sense as the Oilers winning the Stanley Cup? Okay, so you hear something like Real Madrid beat Barcelona 5-0. And then you read the article a little bit more and you find out that they're actually talking about the women's division of FIFA. Because for some reason, Google sees it fit that just because I love FIFA and I love football, then that must automatically mean that I will also watch women playing football, which is not the case. If there is a guy who is watching women playing football, it's because they're trying to get into their wife's pants, or because they love the noises that the ladies are making as they are, swinging across the pitch. And trust me, it gets very, very audible, okay? It's bad. But the idea that just because I love male football, that I should also love female football is just as preposterous as saying that just because you love watching porn, then you must also enjoy watching gay porn. Now, I'm all for watching a good movie every once in a while, especially being a single dad. But I would not like to have a dick up my butt. So, with all due respect, I hope this ends the whole issue that we have when we're trying to say that women should be paid as equally as men when it comes to football. That is never going to happen because, again, going back to the porn analogy, female porn stars are not paid as much as their male counterparts. On the other hand, the men that probably make up the entirety of Gabby's sperm talk, they get paid a lot less. Okay? So, on that, yes, I will be going to the US. I will be trying as hard as I can not to look like the brown gentleman who is here to ruin the great state of America, even though they're doing a pretty good job of it so far. Like, there's shit happening in Los Angeles, there's shit happening everywhere. And here I am waltzing right into the middle of it. Larry, where are you? Are you outside? Fuck. So Larry and I go a little bit back because the last time I met him was at The Judge, where he judged my comedic performance. Now, I do have to say this, Larry, you made a huge mistake that day. You mistakenly said that I fucked up the punchline of my joke. And I took offense to that because I did not fuck up the punchline. I fucked up the delivery, which is exactly what the doctor told Joyce when you were born. Thank you very much. That was my set.
How do you know my fucking mother's name? Fuck, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, may I say, fuck you to Ayman Nassar. Let's give a big fuck you to Ayman Nassar. The Egyptian Sammy Davis Jr. with two good eyes. Seriously, dude, you look like Sammy Davis Jr. You could do a fucking tribute to him. You could come out and go, I'm the candy man. You could fucking do it. None of these young kids know who the fuck Sammy Davis Jr. is. They have no fucking idea. They have no idea. They don't know anything that happened longer than fucking 15 minutes ago.
You said your mom's name and I was paying attention.
Oh, okay, right on. Okay, that's all right then, because otherwise I'm like, what the fuck? She's an old lady, leave her alone. She doesn't have any money. She couldn't even lend me $20 today. Fuck her. I mean, don't do that, Amen, you bastard. Hey, when you masturbate, do you whack like an Egyptian? Hey-oh, hey-oh, hey-oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the laughs a-rolling. Coming up now, a legend here at the CFTA. And by legend, I mean he's been here longer than anybody else. He's been doing shows here forever. He always does really well. I consider him a friend now, or at least somebody I see a lot. Would you please welcome, and I'm going to read it just the way it's written here, Yoel Poopy Breath B.
Some women like.
That was more awkward shake than fucking Trump and Macron. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you brought up charcuterie boards. You know what charcuterie means, eh? Charcuterie is a French word meaning out of fucking dishes. That's how charcuterie was invented. A guy went in his kitchen and went, oh, fuck, I got Lunchables and a fucking cutting board. I'll tell her it's fancy. It's French. Ooh, and I'm going to put it on the internet and every fucking idiot will be into it. I love it now. They have charcuterie restaurants. They do now. They have charcuterie restaurants where the fanciest thing is I'm going to bring out all that meat and cheese and stuff for you on a piece of log. Fuck you. Get me a plate. I'm a person. Eating like fucking Fred Flintstone. What is wrong with people? I was watching the Flintstones Stone the other day. Fred got mad at Barney because Barney said something like, hey, Fred, I fucked Wilma. Chased her through the living room. He passed 18 identical lawn furniture. He ran through the living room. He passed 8 identical furniture sets. I was all high. I'm like, fuck, Fred lives at Leon's. I won't buy shit for Leon's. You know why? They say don't pay a dime till 2025. I'm scared I'm going to wake up New Year's morning and they're going to go, hey, Larry, wake the fuck up. We're here about the couch payments. Like, who the fuck are you? I'm Leon. Meet my associate, the Brick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your next comic? Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to enjoy them greatly. Please welcome Vodka Singh. If I pronounced it right.
Thank you for pronouncing me, guys.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there's an S on it.
Hi. God, I'm nervous looking at all these beautiful people. Some of you look rich too. So, yeah, just a disclaimer. This is my first time doing stand-up. Also, my English, let's say it's work in progress, so good luck to you guys. So, I'm from India, as you can tell, and I've been living in Canada for more than a year now, and my God, I love Canada, and I love white people. You guys are super sweet, like super sweet. And it's not like I have not seen white people back in my country, like UK ruled over us for 200 years. It's long enough that they stopped paying rent. And then they left, right? Then they left, and we had no idea what to do. And so we went to all the countries in search of white people. We went Australia, Canada, US, everywhere, right, in search of them. We were like that naggy ex. We were like, why did you leave us? Why? And they were like, it's for your own good. You know, those breakups where the partner makes you realize that it's mutual, but it's not? And yeah, some of you do. Okay. So they say things like code words. One of the code words are like, it's not you, it's me, which translates to it's definitely you, and I'm done with your fuck-ups. Yeah, and the good one is you deserve better, which means I have already got a better one, so go fuck yourself. Right? Yeah, we have one there. So since you guys are interested a little bit more about my relationship advices, not in script, but it will take just more minute. I'll just tell you how women and men take relationship differently. So, and also men suck at dating. Yeah, we do. But anyways, women take relationship as a car, right? And men take relationship as a plane. So what women want is a driver, and what we think of ourselves as a pilot. Right? Yeah. What women says is drive carefully, look for the turns, look for the lights, will enjoy the ride. And men are like, fuck that shit. Hold my beer, I'm gonna take this shit 0 to 600 miles in 6 seconds. Yeah. Fake commitments, fake everything, like just to get in the pants. We do all the things. Yeah, that's true. Also, a study says that 70% of women fake orgasm in order to not to hurt men's feeling. That's funny, because I know for a fact that 100% of men fake feelings. You got it. Right, anyways. yeah, intelligent audience. So, anyways, back to Britishers. They left us after 200 years, and then we started going in all directions in search of white people. And as our number grew, we started facing some racism too, right? And now, just to be clear, I'm not against racism, not at all. Partially, no, I know. I'll tell you why. I explain everything very good. So I'll tell you why. First thing is because I do not understand the English slangs, racism slangs. My English is not that good. Second is I'm an Indian, so I know Indians. They kind of deserve it. Yeah. Also, we can take racism. Indians can take racism pretty good. We took all your jobs anyway. So, yeah, go to Tim Hortons. So, yeah, not just jobs. We took some of your towns too. Like Brampton feels like I'm still in India, and few of the white folk are there for vacation. That's it. That's true. I was shocked too. Anyways, and no kidding, when I landed in Toronto, which is not the capital of Canada, I got to know that. When I landed in Toronto, I called my mom and I said, like, Mom, I think my flight flew from Delhi and landed in Punjab. Both are cities in India, if you don't know. So, anyways, yeah. So when I landed in Canada, I stayed alone for a long time. And when a man is alone for a long time, he just does do one thing, watches lots and lots of stuff, like porn, right? I'm ashamed of it, but yeah. I watched lots and lots of porn. Sometimes I'm on page 29 of the porn website looking for the perfect thing to hit, which hits the spot. We all have done that. But also, just one point to the ladies. If you think that just because you are with a guy, he's not helping himself, that's a lie. He does. Getting a new friend does not mean that we forget our best old friend. Yeah, right? Anyways, yeah, you got it late. You got it. So, yeah, I watched lots and lots of porn, and then I had an epiphany. I had a realization, not about my life, that I'm a bad guy, but about the porn movies. What I realized is that porns are totally opposite of horror movies. And I'll tell you how, because I explain things good. So, let's, for a start, when we want to watch a horror movie, we want it to watch it with somebody, because it's scary, right? We want to watch it with anyone. But the ideal condition to watch a porn is when we are alone. Like, for men, first thing comes in mind when we are alone is just give me some tissue papers and lotion and I'll be done with it. Yeah. Yeah, that was the one difference. The second difference which I noticed is that while watching a horror movie, we kind of stop the characters not to do certain things, like don't go in that dark room. You got the joke? Okay. I'll tell it anyway because I've written it, so it's yeah, my effort. So in horror movies, we stop the characters to not do certain things, but in porn, we kind of encourage them. Like, go for it. Go in that room. Do it in the table. Go for it. Go for it. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Sorry. Sorry. I lost a moment. My bad. My old good days. Yeah. And the final difference which I saw was that whatever happens in horror movie, we do not want it to happen to us. Right? Not at all. In any way. But, on the other hand, whatever happens in a porn movie becomes our wish list. We note it down. We're like, I'm going to try this shit next time. Fuck that. Yeah. And just one more thing, that porn is setting some wrong expectations. I mean, 30 seconds is long enough. Yeah. Try doing plank 30 seconds. You'll know how long it is. So, yeah, that was it. But one last difference, which is personal, is this with this face. I have a better chance of seeing a ghost than seeing a pussy. So, thank you guys. This was me. I'll just look for a ghost who swipes right on Tinder. Thank you so much.
Mike is saying, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Be nice. Be gentle. It was his first time up here talking about porn and masturbating. Yeah. God wants men to masturbate. That's why he made our arms exactly this long. And he put that safety knob on the end of your dick so you don't do that in the shower and knock yourself out. Girls think that knob on the end is so that when they're jacking you off, if they go too hard, they'll find it, put it back on. Now I know to go softer. Fuck off. Have you ever had the bad hand job? Any of the guys here? Yeah, man, you know what I'm talking about. Some girl's giving you a shink shank on the yank yank, and all you're thinking is, you know, I've been doing this since I was 14, and you're doing it wrong. Ow. Take off the fucking rings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you're tired, so we're going to plow on to the next 5 comics. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get some energy back in this room. Are you ready? All right. I'm leaving. You should be happy about that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next comic, Kobe Durst. If he's outside, I'll fucking kill him. Oh, hold on. No, you fucking wait now. I waited for you with the fucking man bun. Fucking man bun. You know what man buns are for? It's so God can pick up the idiots easier. Fuck off. Even if I had hair, I wouldn't grow a man bun. Jesus Christ. It's like a ponytail that couldn't. Well, I made face snort, so now I'm happy. My work here is done. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way direct from smoking weed on the patio, please welcome Kobe Durst.
Thank you. I was smoking weed on the patio. So, I was drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, and they, best beer, 1893. Before that, they were just the Pabst Standard Pabst. And, what place do you think they've come in lately? It's still on the can. Best beer, 1893, Pabst Blue Ribbon. So, I kind of, when I'm out smoking weed, if it's like a weekday, if I sit anywhere kind of like in a public area, I look homeless enough that like homeless people will come sit next to me. If I sit long enough, it's a whole gaggle of us. And this one particular homeless fellow, he says to me that, you know, I don't have to be homeless. And that's not like, it's not really, it wasn't a brag, but he said it. And he told me the follow-up on that was, I'm the chicken guy. What I do is I save my money and I take chickens and I release them in different towns. And then every day is going to be Easter. And so I said, well, I didn't really say much. He was talking. He said once he's done with the chickens, he wants all animals everywhere. He goes, next, kangaroos. So if you see the chickens, are like, he's out there. There was, I was thinking about the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. People that think about that, I think about it. That's MAD. It's the acronym. Actually, speaking of the acronyms, I don't know if this is true or not. Somebody told me this. Somebody told me news originally was just an acronym. They said noteworthy events, weather, and sports. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they said. And they were real confident. They also said, be there or be square, because if you're square, you're not around. But the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, I really think it should be Mothers Against Underage Drinking. Because statistically, it's usually young drunk drivers. And really, you should have just picked them up from the party, right? Let's see. I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I'll talk about it. I was pulled over and I got a ticket because there was a spelling mistake on the street that I lived on. He just happened to know. He said, "That's not it's not McLaughlin. Your license, it says McLaughlin Avenue." So I did get a ticket for that. What else was I thinking about? I was thinking, yeah. Well, my friend, he took me to, my friend took me to, he took me to this restaurant. He was really talking it up all night. It's a great Italian place. It's a great little Italian place. We're in kind of a small town. He doesn't leave town all that often. And great Italian spot. You're going to love it. He's been talking about it the whole evening. We get there. It was in Eastside Mario's. He didn't know it was a chain. So, oh, when we get done with this, buddy, I'm gonna take you to this great little New England themed pizza joint. You're gonna love it. Or better yet, I'm gonna take you to this little burger shop. You're gonna love the sauce. They have the best fries. You can just fucking. Anyways, I'm Kobe Durst. Thanks a lot.
Kobe Durst and his man bun. Ladies and gentlemen, Kobe Durst. I did not make fun of his fanny pack. I don't make fun of fanny packs anymore. The last time I made fun of a fanny pack, the guy punched me in the face like, and went, "It's a utility belt." That's what Batman has. He has a fanny belt that goes all the way around. You know what he's got in his utility belt? He's got some chapstick, some papers, and some weed. That's why Batman's, you know Batman's a stoner. That's why he sounds like that. I'm the Batman. I want you to tell your friends about me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our next comic. He's a comic who's so good that he doesn't even have a last name. He only has a letter because his family was that poor. Would you please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, at least they can afford the period after the letter. Please welcome, oh, it's you. This guy's very funny. You're going to enjoy him. No, okay, he's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joseph D.
Thank you very much. Hey, man, I'm glad to see you're back. Are you okay? I saw you had a lot. I feel like you left to like go drill a hole through a brick wall with your dick or something. That was, he took all those, yeah, that was, you're okay. Okay, good. So anyways, I've been married. We'll be married for about 10 years, me and my wife, this August. Usually people clap, but that's fine. That's okay. We'll see if we make it, actually. We'll see if we make it. If we don't, I'll be here more often. That's the good part of that, I guess. But my wife and I, we have 2 kids, and my wife is expecting me to come home after this. Yeah, we're done having kids. Sorry, I'm done. She could do whatever she likes. Yeah. Actually, I noticed a lot of my friends are getting vasectomies right now. Yeah, my wife and I have chosen abstinence. It was just a smart financial decision, right? Because I don't know about you, but in school, we weren't taught financial literacy. And I went to a Catholic school. Like the most memorable, most important knowledge I got was, hey, you know that feeling you have down here? Bury it. And if you try to do anything about it, God will hate you. And that was just introduction to accounting, first period. So very effective. But getting a vasectomy, it's like subtly bragging to everybody that you're still having unprotected intercourse with your partner. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm still having sex. And afterwards, there's none of that worry that usually follows. It's like a weight has been lifted. I'm like, yeah, that's your balls gone. That's how that works. I feel like my wife would be mad if she heard me talking about all this. But what are the repercussions? It's not like she can withhold more sex. Right? I'd like to see her try. By the way, none of this is true, okay? For the record, it's much worse. Yeah. So we have the two kids, and my kids, I mean, they are annoying, very annoying. And it's little things you didn't realize. Like the other day we were crossing the street to get to the park, and I had my 6-year-old daughter on one hand and my 2-year-old son in the other. And we're walking across, there's 2 cars stopped. It's kind of a pressure situation. Halfway through the street, the 2-year-old's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Starts pulling away. He's like, no, Daddy, no. I'm like, come on, man, come on. He's like, no. He starts crying. So I'm basically dragging him across the asphalt to get to the other side. And I stand him up. He's crying. I'm like, Blaine. His name is Blaine. I'm like, Blaine, you gotta hold my hand. And I look at my 6-year-old. I'm like, Leah, tell Blaine why he has to hold my hand. And in the most beautiful way, she leans over and says, you might die. I was like, whoa. She's like, what? I'm like, well, that was harsh. I start laughing a little bit because I didn't expect it. She's like, what? She starts to cry. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's true, though. I'm like, you're right, it's true. And then she's crying. He starts crying again. I'm like, I'm going back to the middle of the street. And with kids, I started to think more about death. Because it makes you think about, I think about what would happen what would happen to my kids if I die, right? And how would I make it look like an accident and all that? Anyways. Yeah, anyways. Where was I going? I don't know. Oh, right. So if you don't know, I make a lot of food videos on the internet. That's a lot of my life right now. And this weekend, I'm going to be in Midland, Ontario, being a judge at the largest butter tart festival in Canada. That's a true fact. Thank you very much. Very excited. But like, how do you judge a butter tart? Like, they're all so good. Like, it's like trying to pick a favorite child. How do you do it? It's like, well, this butter tart pissed me off earlier, so that one can't win. How do you do it? It's just like judging sugar. Sugar starts at a 10 all the time. It's like, do you like the sugar or the sugary sugar? I don't know. And you're just looking for things not to like, just to bring it down below 10. It's like, well, this sugar has raisins in it, and I don't like raisins very much. But man, I like sugar. 9.9 out of 10, yeah. Well, this one has pecans in it. Pah! 9.8, still delicious. Okay. Well, and then there's some butter tart categories that are just not fair. Like, well, this butter tart is just a churro disguised as a butter tart. Can we rate that higher than 10 like that? Because it's fucking delicious. Oh my god. Okay. Well, 10 out of 10 then. 10 out of 10. That's what I got to say. So I'm gonna be there, and while we were organizing this, they're like, "Oh, if you want to do a comedy show while you're here, we could make that happen." Like, great. We were working out the details, trying to figure out the time, and the organizer was like, well, listen, after the Butter Tart Festival ends, we need some time to clean the venue because the floor gets really sticky. And I'm like, what is going on at this Butter Tart Festival? He's like, well, everybody eats butter tarts and they get on the floor and it's sticky. I'm like, oh, of course. And he's like, then after that we have the annual Midland orgy. Oh. So we'll mop up and you can start your show at 9. What do you think? And I said, well, I can just perform during that if you want. That's fine. Anyways, thank you very much. That's all I got. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, he's back. Hey, all right. Thank you very much. Keep it going.
I was watching it outside there, which is cool because I can get stoned and it's like watching you on TV. Because Jake's got it wired up out there. I'm sitting on the stoop and I was watching you do, where are you? I was watching you do your set and I was like, oh, this is fucking great. And the minute you were done, I went, oh, it's just going to be a commercial, I guess. Then there was no fucking commercial. Well, I'm out of breath, so I'm going to bring up the next act. The next act, I've been lucky enough. This is a great establishment here. Can we have a big round of applause for the CFTA? not only are they going to be having productions here during the Fringe Theater Festival, but this past Christmas and this past April, there were 2 sketch shows written and starring Hamilton people and produced over here by Dex. And we did 2 sketch shows here, and they were really great. And one of the amazing performers that was in those sketch shows that I got to be in too, so it was a pleasure to work with her, and it's going to be a pleasure for you to watch her. And she's just so special to me. Would you please welcome Faye Paulette.
Keep it going for Larry. As my mom told me many, many times, Larry was the star of that sketch show. I'm not even kidding. Hello, my name is Faye Paulette, Faye with an E on the end. Thinking about the sketch show, it was a super fun experience. I got to work with Larry Smith, Christian Reimer, Jason Thompson, and I was like, this is so cool. I got to learn from a lot of people, as well as Melissa and Susie. But I realized, I was thinking, if you couldn't tell from looking at me, my dad's dead. You can't tell me you weren't thinking it. Anyway, I digress. I don't know if I use that right, but I like to use big words to make myself sound photosynthesis, so. I'm a classy broad. Anyway, I was thinking, like, my dad's death, it's been 3 years. I don't know if it really affects me that much in, like, my day-to-day life. And then I looked at the people I was spending a lot of time with, Larry Smith, Jason Thompson, Christian Reimer, who are all men, like, in their 50s or older, and I was like, oh. Well, shit. The daddy issues are still present. Yeah, they're just a different kind now. Yeah, I miss that motherfucker. Yeah. Before anyone goes saying, I've been told, like, Faye, that's really disrespectful. That's your father. You can't be calling him a motherfucker. And I'm like, how did I get here? Where do you think I came from? This man, I can't even say it. He was a motherfucker. No, we love Sean. He was a great guy. Moving on from that. No, there was a time I was celebrating my dad's birthday, right? I went out, had some wings, had a rum and Coke, and just had dinner by myself. And towards the end of the meal, my waitress was like, oh, are you celebrating anything tonight? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm celebrating my late dad's birthday. And she kind of huffed and was like, well, when do you think he's going to get here? Like, you're already done your wings. I'm like, oh, yeah, hopefully soon. It's fine, though. It doesn't affect me that much. Jason Thompson, Larry Smith, Christian Reimer. Oh, no, I feel very blessed to be able to spend time with these people. They're super awesome, very funny. I've been able to learn so much, which is why I'm so funny. You're right, it isn't funny, because it's true. Just kidding. Oh, my God, I'm sorry. No, it's been really fun. I kind of feel like I look like I sell essential oils today. Or like crystals. Or crystal dildos that you clean with essential oils. Also, though, my shoes give Wall Street. Okay, fine. They don't know. But I also kind of feel like I'm a bird as well, right? Like one-winged dove. No, but birds. Birds are aggressive. And I was trying to figure out why they're so aggressive, and I'm like, they're always trying to fight. Like, what's up with that? It's because they're always chirping. That was a very rich person laugh back there. I love it. No, they're always chirping, man. They always be chirping. Yeah, no. I love birds, though. I love to, whenever I hear them chirp, I try and play, like, Where's Waldo with them. I'm like, and then when I find it, I'm like, ha! Fucker. Oh, they're great. I used to watch some birds in my condo's parking lot. There was a cardinal specifically, and it would come and would sit on a branch, and it would tweet, and it kind of goes like doo 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 doo, and so it would do its thing, and then I started whistling back, and I was like, when I would do it, I would watch him look around for me, like, where is this bitch? And then it would go back and it would do its little whistle. And, you know, I'd whistle back like, doo 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 doo. And I knew the moment he saw me because he was just like, and I like shrunk and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll never do it again, Mr. Cardinal. Mr. Cardinal. Big Cardinal, if you will. But yeah, birds are aggressive. I don't, oh my goodness. Water, wow. I'll end on this. I often get asked, you know, Faye, do you ever, after a set, do you call your parents to let them know how it went? And I was like, guys, come on. I'm 28 years old. I don't need to call my mom. I live with her. So I just like, you know, go kick down her door and I'm like, hey, Donna! Your daughter's hilarious! And, you know, I really don't mess with Ouija boards, so I can't call my dad. I have been Faye Paulett. We're going to bring back your host, Larry Smith.
Faye Paulett! Faye Paulett! Ladies and gentlemen, you should be excited. We're up to the penultimate comedian. Hey, Faye, don't say what. Fuck you. If you could use big words, I could use big words. This is the penultimate comedian. Do you know what that means? No. Neither do I, but people say that when it's the second to last of anything. Oh, I do know what it means. Oh, that's surprising. I'm really excited because not only have we had a Joey D tonight, but apparently there's a lot of families that can't afford last names and can only afford one letter. Another poor unfortunate victim of the one-letter last name is about to come up now. Please welcome your penultimate comedian and somebody, and the people who are streaming. Fuck off. I know I just mispronounced it. Don't be Googling it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your penultimate comedian, Diana B.
Hello, everybody. Yay! Oh my gosh. So, first of all, I need to address the elephant in the room, especially after Gabby sat. I know that I look like somebody who's not only keeping the village alive, but probably the whole Western Hemisphere, okay? I'm where the gatherers from the other villages come when they're in trouble, okay? I get that. But in all seriousness, July's coming up, and for me, that means I am celebrating my 5-year divorce anniversary. Woo! And the only regret that I have is that I didn't get divorced sooner. And by sooner, I mean before the cell phone. Now, I also grew up without a father, obviously. And Faye and I have bonded today. We have bonded so much today. But what I grew up seeing was that inevitably my dad would show up every once in a while and he would call my mom. And this is how that would go. ¿Aló? ¡Hijo de puta! No se atreva a llamarme más, al menos que vaya a mandar plata. ¡Pa! Oh. Now, the one thing you need to understand about my mom now is that she's one of these people that doesn't believe anxiety is a real thing. And I believe that that's because she had an outlet for her emotions, right? We don't. Because when my ex calls me or needs to communicate, this is how it goes. Not quite the same effect. And now if I'm feeling really spicy and pissed off, he might get one of these, which translates to a passive-aggressive thumbs up. Now, the divorce, however, I have to admit, was my first midlife crisis. My second midlife crisis came very shortly after when I decided to date a much younger man. And I'm talking about like over 20 years age difference. And people, you know, they're a little judgy about that, but I have to say that he was very sweet. He was the kind of guy who would buy me flowers, remember my coffee order, and he went as far as building me a house on Roblox. Super, super sweet. He was the best. I miss him. But why did it end? We really didn't have that much in common. Like, our lives were going in different directions. And I knew that because he would talk about having children someday, and, you know. Then he really was floundering about what he was going to do with his life and his career. But what really did it for me is one day he asked me if I was alive when they had pagers. And not only was I alive, but the only reason I even came the first time I had sex was because my boyfriend's pager had fallen off his pants and was slipping under me, and his mom was trying to reach him. Now, I do still have a fantasy about one day becoming somebody's MILF. And the way I see it happening is that one day I'll be up on stage doing my stand-up, and there'll be a man across the way looking at me, and he'll be thinking, now there's a mom I'd like to fund. I just turned 49 last month. I've paid my dues. I've paid my bills. Thank you, ladies in the back. I don't see you, but I know it's the ladies in the back clapping. Okay? And at this point in my life, I want a man that looks at me the way I look at my mortgage statement. Damn, I'm going to be paying for that for the rest of my life. So I'm single again, and I'm on the apps. And my friends really get a kick out of listening to me tell them the stories of what happens on these apps, especially because they thought that people didn't actually send dick pics. So when I started telling them about that, they thought it was just some kind of urban legend. And I wish it was some kind of legend. I wish it was a legend like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. But instead, it's more like the legend of the leprechaun. At least with my luck, it's usually short, hairy, and looks like it's wearing a funny hat. But I digress. To date, and you did use that properly earlier today, I've lost my train of thought. I was thinking about the dicks. To date, I have actually received 29 unsolicited dick pics. Okay? How many of those do you think I wish I had never seen? That's right, 28. I keep the other one as a wallpaper on my phone. If anybody wants to see it after the show, just hit me up. Okay? Now, I do believe I am incredibly body positive. I am very sex positive. I think all bodies are beautiful, and I don't kink shame. So take your pictures. However, I do think that a lot of men just don't have the skill to take a good picture. So what I'm going to do is God's work and give you some advice. And this is so simple, you can't go wrong. It's the same advice that I have given my own children for decades. For school pictures. My God, what kind of mom do you think I am? So, just to remember this. Number one, hold your head up straight. Number two, don't forget to comb your hair. And most importantly, number three, for the love of God, at a bare minimum, wipe the crusty out of your eye. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
All right, keep it up for Diane B. Diane B. That was fantastic. By the way, George, who works, makes your patties and stuff like that, made me a fucking liar. Diana wasn't the penultimate comic because George is going to come on after the next comic. So there's two more comedians, and then I get to go home. streaming people, I'm being held hostage. They keep bringing in more comedians. I'm never going home. I'm going to be here at 4 a.m. going, and here's your next guy. But ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the hostage taking going. I feel like I should be holding up a newspaper with the date on it. You ladies and gentlemen are going to enjoy the next comic very much. I know I am, because he's the second to last one. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Aleko Gamel.
Thank you, Larry. Yes, my name is Aleko, which means my name sounds just foreign enough that when I'm applying for job applications, I can check mixed race. You got to do everything you can to get a job these days. So, there's the question, indigenous? I'm like, probably. Sexuality? Yeah. Bisexual? Sure. Aren't we all? It's Pride Month, right? Like, let's make some noise for all the pride in the building. Yeah, you guys can applaud. You can be an ally. Cheer if you're an ally. You're reluctantly clapping. You're not an ally. Fuck you. No, I truly, sexuality is a spectrum, right? So it's kind of like coffee. Like in the morning, maybe you want your coffee straight. And then maybe in the afternoon, you want to sprinkle a bit of sugar and lots of cream in your coffee. So I'm kind of accepting that. And I think the sooner we all just accept those things about ourselves and about our friends and we don't judge it, the sooner we can just be happy because it doesn't matter, right? Like, I bike. That's kind of gay. Yeah. Especially because I wear the spandex, and the only reason I bike is to wear the spandex. I got a nice padded butt. So, yeah, I do it for that. I also, I listen to podcasts at night, and I've started watching them, and the only podcasts I consume are dudes talking. So I'm just falling asleep, watching Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce. It's kind of gay. Well, that's okay. On Instagram, I'll zoom in on guys' muscles. That's kind of gay. And I follow a lot of the NBA, and so I like to follow them for their fashion. So I'll zoom in on their outfits, and I'll zoom in on their sweatpants to see if I can see any sweatpant meat. Because I'm curious about the NBA penis. That's pretty gay. But it's just digital, so it's okay. No, it's whatever. It's fine. It does bug me though. I know I'm applying for the kind of corporate jobs, but I'm picking up some temporary work, doing some construction stuff. Been working with this guy Greg, and we were sanding the other day. And I'm like, Greg, I gotta get a respirator and some ear protection. He's like, protection? What are you, gay? I was like, well, Greg, the gays notoriously did not use protection. So, yes. And also, I don't think the gays really care about protecting their throat. But you drink your double-double, Greg. You need 2 cream and 2 sugar in your coffee, but no judgment, Greg. It's cool though, this job, because I get to drive a pickup truck, and I understand why pickup truck drivers want to run cyclists off the road, because the moment I get in there, I'm like, the wheels start turning. I'm like, no, he's one of us. I was talking to Greg about it. I'm like, yeah, it's incredible. You feel omnipotent in there? He's like, hey, my dick is fine. I'm surprised you know what impotent even means, Greg. But no, omnipotent means all powerful. He's like, oh, yeah, my dick is omnipotent. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. It's not, Greg. Being in the construction world though now, I drive by a construction site and I'm like, hey guys, and they're like, the fuck are you doing? You're on a bike. I'm like, yeah. But it's become my mission now. It's such a great feeling when this happens, to wave at every truck driver, every pickup truck driver when I'm on my bike, because you see them struggling. They're like, and it's the most begrudging wave. And it feels like I've turned them. It's probably what gay people feel like turning a straight person. Because I know that truck driver is going to go home like so mad, and he's going to try to shower and wash off the memory of locking eyes with a cyclist in spandex. But you can never get rid of that feeling of locking eyes with me in my spandex, Greg. I was driving by like a road crew yesterday, and there's the guy with the sign. He just holds a sign. He looks so cool though, because he's holding the sign with one hand and then he's smoking a cigarette with the other. And the fucking power pose of turning his construction hat backwards. He's got a backwards hard hat. I'm like, dude, that is very cool. I would love to get paid $40 an hour to just do that. And then you drive along a little further and you see the one guy shoveling asphalt. And you're like, you're a poor bastard. Because there's 4 dudes leaning on the truck that he's getting the asphalt out of. And they're all just smoking their cigarettes, leaning there, and they're getting paid the same amount of money as the guy who's shoveling. And I really hope that they rotate. They probably don't. And then I thought, if I was the guy shoveling, I would take that shovel and smack those dudes leaning, smack those construction hats off their heads, because they work for the city, so they're going to get paid the same amount of money to do the exact same thing they're doing now, which is nothing. They're going to sit at home and make their money, and then I will be the sign holder. I will have my scepter, like Game of Construction Cones. I think that's a good place to end it. My name's Aleko Gamel. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.
Sarah Aleko. Right on. That seems like a good place to end it. It's also a famous quote from a lot of people on bridges. Fuck off, that's funny. So before I hang myself, we are on the last comic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the last, hi guys. Please welcome the last comic of the evening, George!
Now you earned that last $1.50, Larry, so by introducing me, I had to keep you 5 extra minutes. How are you guys? Thank you for waiting, hanging out. We gave Larry a bunch of announcements here at CFTA to make. And I feel you guys are kind of reverse Rosa Parking us. Like, we ask you to sit in the front, but you sit in the back. Love that's going really well, by the way. Are you guys happy in general? Yeah, fuck happiness. I mean, you're divorced. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, you're happy now? Very? Yeah, let's talk in a week. I'm alone. No, I fucking hate happiness. Happiness is such a fucked up thing to rely on, because happiness is very inconsistent. Like, happiness, it feels always like happiness is the thing life gives you before it tries to fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, and it usually always precedes a terrible event. Like the Leafs in the playoffs. Or cancer. But mostly the Leafs thing, you know, like it's, I mean, like, cancer is consistent, like it's petrifying, right? But it kills you. It's very consistent. The Leafs, it's the inconsistency that kills you, right? It keeps you on the edge of your seat. I don't like happiness simply because I don't think men, you know, men, we're not capable of happiness. What we're capable of is content, like being, you know, who gives a fuck? The only people, because I could see it in your eyes, I'm really like, what? I know men who are happy. These are gay men. And I think the reason gay men are happy, genuinely, it's because they're undamaged. They haven't experienced women. And if you don't believe me still, look how miserable lesbian couples are. Basically, every lesbian couple is two thankful men somewhere else on this planet. Thank you. By scissoring, I don't have to, whatever. Yeah, and men, you know, like gay men, I like that. Happy Pride Month, by the way. Like, I love this about gay men because they're very confident, right? Like, they can demand happiness. Right? You know, a gay man wakes up in his bed, you know, there's throw pillows all around him. You know, and he demands happiness. Like, I'm gonna be happy today. And life rushes and says, oh, sure, here you go, sweetheart. Here's a bunch of happiness to you. You go, you little rainbow, you. But straight men, you know, we don't have that privilege. We don't have that confidence. We don't have gay confidence. We have straight confidence. All the confidence we have is just to ask life very shy, like in a shy manner, like maybe, sorry, excuse me, yeah. Maybe not everything is gonna suck today, just saying. And life fucking immediately goes, what? Are you fucking stupid? Get off your bed and stub your toe. That's how you're starting your day. Fuck off now. And that's it. We don't have throw pillows, you know, straight men. Best you have is black sheets, because you don't have to wash them as often. And if you stain them, well, it's in the design. That's the line, though, I'm sorry. That's where, no, fuck, as an audience, we had a consensus. This is where we draw the line. Stains on sheets. But men being unable of happiness, by the way, I don't know, is it like Mental Health Awareness Month this month? See, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody ever, like, you know, every Mother's Day, you know, we don't have children, my wife and I, for many reasons. You know, none of them has to do with my penis, by the way. Promise you. So every Mother's Day, because we have 3 puppies, I get her a bouquet of flowers. I write her a card pretending it's from the dog, saying that she's the best mom ever. It's Father's Day soon. My wife doesn't know. You know what she told me I'm going to do in the weekend? Laundry. That's it. Women, you don't give a fuck about men, mental health. There's no people. You have the best. Even in Arabic, you know, all the poems they wrote was always about how the mother is great. Like, she is a school. Like, underneath her feet, you could find heaven. You know what's poems about dads? He's there. That's it. Nobody goes. They work hard, you know, they make you, to make the bomb, to get work, you know. No, nobody does that. Wow, did I just say that? Fuck. I'm going to the States in a week. I don't think that's going to go really well. But I have a cross. It doesn't matter. Come here, please. Yeah. What else? What happened this week? Oh, the king was here last week. That pissed me off 2 weeks ago, by the way. I'm still on it. Yeah, he came. I don't know if he can still do that, but he came to Canada and he gave the throne speech from the parliament for the first year, for the first time in like 50 years. And people were, oh my God, it's a historical event, you know, it's never happened before. The king, 50 years, never came. And well, that's such a shitty brag to have. Because if you were a dad and your kid on his 40th birthday knows he has cancer, and you show up and like, hey, I'm your dad, I'm going to be next to you, by the way. That's even worse than the Leafs. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys. That was my time. Let's bring back Larry.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for George. Let's hear it for the 900 comedians you saw tonight. The people that are watching online, get a life. It's been 2 hours and 16 minutes. I mean, you should watch this in segments. It was like the Winds of War. It's like a mini series. It was like fucking Roots. It should have been over 3 nights. Well, we love it here at the Hamilton Center for Talking Arts. I love doing comedy here. I love seeing you new people, because I've been doing this forever, and sometimes it's good to remind myself what it was like to be starting out and be really excited about the future ahead, and instead of living at the end of that future and going, you need to go back and tell that kid to learn guitar. But you've been fantastic. I've enjoyed myself. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Everybody, we'll see you next Thursday. Good night!